My guy, what's going on, Dylan?
Hey, hey, hey.
How you doing? So, to everyone who's joining us live, I want to say thanks for coming back. My name is Marvin Goodley. This is Trust Fund Baddies Live. I am a dating expert for high-value men who don't want to settle for average women. And today we have a very special guest. He is a member of Trust Fund Baddies Academy, and he came to us already a successful entrepreneur, already winning at life, but there was just something missing in terms of aligning with the right high-value women. And so, ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to introduce you to Dylan. And so before we get into it today, I'd love for you, Dylan, to just, introduce us, tell us a little more about yourself, what you do in your business, and we'll get started from there.
Yeah, sure. So appreciate you having me on here. So I grew up in a small town in Pennsylvania. Got myself into a bunch of trouble at an early age, to say lightly, and then ended up during the pandemic having some success in sales and business and so forth. Um, Built a name for myself. Started making some good money. Started living in penthouses and uh, living a good life. Um, right now, I run a business that is basically pretty controversial. So to keep it short, I do marketing, I do finance, and that's the general gist. That's my background.
I love to hear it. So as you guys can see, we're just not working with guys that are looking to make it in life. These are very well-established individuals. And so a lot of you guys have been on the fence about Trust Fund Baddies Academy. I would just love for you to just really take the time and listen to our conversation today. And so with that being said, I'd like to first ask Dylan, what separated Trust Fund Baddies Academy from other dating advice that you just saw online?
Well, most of the stuff that I saw online, I guess just didn't work, right? Like I've tried dating apps, I've tried all these other things, and I've like met people on dating apps, but it's like the amount of time that I was putting in for the results that I was getting was just not worth it. I'd much rather just do something else and be fucking celibate or something than, be spinning my wheels on these apps. Apparently not doing the right things. Um, Ultimately, there was a lot of conflicting advice out there. There's, what women say they want, and there's stuff that actually works, right? And I think that a lot of the dating advice out there, it's based on what women say they want, but not what they respond to well. And so I'd say that's been the biggest difference for me. And to paint the picture a bit more, um, basically before I became successful in business and things of that nature, dating seems pretty easy. Like I didn't really put much thought or uh, into it. It would sort of just happen naturally, right? Um, and I didn't really put a whole lot of effort into it. There wasn't a whole lot of investment and so forth. But after I got into business and I started really focusing on myself a lot more, um, things became different at first, just because I didn't have the time. I was working like 100+ hours a week, and at that point in my life, that was like the right thing to do. But then after I started making more money and delegating stuff and freeing up my time, I'm like, okay, I can get myself back out there into the dating market and shoot my shot some more. And interestingly enough, it became way harder. I think for two different reasons. One, because I think just over time, even though maybe that was like a 5-year period where I was kind of laying low in terms of dating, it significantly changed. I think hoflation has significantly increased just in 5 years.
Absolutely.
And um, yeah, basically, um, as well, like the investment that was like being put in to these potential relationships was just like a lot more than it was before because I had all the success, so I had more success to share. But um, I think when you do that too early on, it makes it so that it's not as much appreciated. People feel like they don't deserve. nice things, and so you give them nice things, and they feel like they don't deserve it. So now they're just going to respect you less. So I think for those reasons, it was like really tough, and uh, found that even though I was more high value significantly, and I had the potential to be like a way better partner and all that shit, it was not exactly working out that way. Like I'd have these super nice dates that I'd take girls on, and um, I'd be texting all day and like in the middle of work and stuff, and doing all these things that you would think would make a better relationship, but because I think I was doing those things too early on and investing my time, my attention, my money too early, it worked to my disadvantage and would actually chase these girls away. As before, when I was like broke and poor, I didn't care because I was just trying to hustle. I was trying to improve my life. I didn't really care about the girls so much. So after having some success and being like, okay, now I'm ready for something, uh, it seemed like that kind of mindset was pushing them away, if that makes sense. So um, that I think all in all is what made it not work. Is just I had all this conflicting advice and different philosophies that sort of didn't make sense or didn't work so much, and ultimately just applying stuff that didn't work. But I think what I've learned here more than anything is just that like we are the prize. Simple as that. We're the damn prize.
Mic drop.
And and you've just got to turn the tables. Nobody else is going to do it. You've got to turn the tables for yourself. And so that's what I did. And the past couple of months have been definitely a lot different. Just putting a lot less investment into um, them individually and getting a lot more back. Um, and so now I'm at a point where I have a lot of options, right? Like I can pick and choose what girl I want to spend my time with. Do I even want to spend time with her at all? It's like when you have lots of options, your view is totally different as opposed to when you just have like, maybe one person that you're interested in. It's like you got tunnel vision on this one person, and you don't see the person's flaws. You don't uh, you think this person is absolutely perfect, even if they're very far from it. And to be honest, most of these women, there's a lot of really great women out there, no doubt, but most of them are like not people that you want to be spending your time with at all, and can be actually very detrimental to your life. And so, um, taking the approach that I have now um, has allowed me to just see things from a much more real viewpoint and not be like so emotionally invested into just one relationship or one thing, and um, be able to have like lots of interactions and lots of fun, and keep my eyes on the prize, which is of course like a relationship where we're both going to push each other forward, right? But at the same time, not having like feeling like I need to have it because I've got a bunch of options. And my main priority right now is creating more options so I can get the 0.01%. And yeah, that's where I'm at.
100%. And I think a major thing you speak on too as well, right? Is like you. That was like one of the first things I noticed about you. Even like when I met you, I was like, you scream success. And then for a lot of men, I call it like the peacock fallacy, where it's kind of like with a male peacock, he flets his feathers so that it's like a mating call. But for modern women, that's basically us actually be taken advantage of. And then I was even telling them the first thing you go to your page, you're seeing a guy that's handsome guy in front of a Rolls Royce, in front of a private jet. she's already thinking about a retirement plan. That was my biggest thing with him is like, you're so successful, it's actually hurting you because it's now putting you in a position where women are really just looking to take advantage. And although you have so much more to offer, a lot of that is just the initial, perspective they have when you see you. And so one of the things we focused on was a status profile kit where you didn't need to upgrade your image. Your image was great, but just being mindful of if you're approaching certain women online through DMs or through the apps, as opposed to women you're meeting in person, it's a different filtering process. These women that see you online, they're looking at you as a target as opposed to the women you meet in person. These are women you have more just personal and more intimate and real conversations with. And so just definitely, man, applaud you for also really just realizing that it's all psychology. You've always been the prize. You always already had everything accomplished, everything together. But the way society likes to project it on men, it's like we're still chasing something, we're still pursuing something. So I just major kudos to you in terms of the psychology that you have. And it goes to now make me pose the question that you already had a successful business, you already had a successful life. Why should people trust your perspective on how Trust Fund Baddies Academy has made an impact on your life and dating?
Well, very simply put, I mean, look at my Instagram. Look at a few months ago. You can look at my highlights and look at the last couple of months, and that'll tell you everything you need to know. Um, I mean, this stuff just it works. Is the really simple way to put it here. And I was coming from a place where uh, knowing that I have a lot of value in the sort of dating marketplace, but wasn't getting what I'm worth per se. And so it took just some mindset shifts really, and not even necessarily a lot more action, because quite frankly, the last couple of months, I've been putting like less time into trying to date. Quite frankly, I'm not even necessarily trying to date anyone. It's like I'm making lots of friends. Some of them are men, most of them are women, and I'm looking to make friends with people before anything else. And then I'm just sort of asking questions and trying to figure out like if she's right for me. And 99% of the time, that's going to be a no because they're not a trust fund baddie. But but every connection I make, it's like you get something out of it. You have some fun. You get to learn new perspectives. So it's never an L. It's never a loss. But I'd say that now I've got a solid base, like a social network. Before I had a business network, right, which is great. Bunch of mostly uh, old dudes with white hair, in finance and business and those sorts of things. Uh, Now I've got a social network. I've got a solid base, a solid social network where it can sort of expand upon itself. Um, and so I've definitely made more progress in that aspect. And I almost see it strategically working like a business. Obviously, I'm not profiting in terms of money, but I'm profiting in terms of relationships and connections and just being able to like know more people and have fun. It's like fun is kind of like the profit of the whole social network thing. But in any case, I think if you just look at my Instagram profile, compare some months ago to the last few months, definitely my social network has grown a lot, very rapidly, and I've got a solid base to where it's like naturally happening. People are talking about me, and so the uh, the trust fund baddies are on their way.
I love it, man. I think one of my biggest principles too, just not in terms of the academy, but it's all about iron sharp as iron. I believe one of the biggest things we can do is to make each other to go from a fisherman to a fisher of men. And so I like to really end this live with what is, now that you've gone through Trust on Baddies Academy, what is the one principle that has given you the greatest shift with women that you can give to these men right now in their life?
Yeah, I'd say just one of the um, biggest mindset shifts for me that's been the most impactful has been um, being able to sort of put emotions aside and look at the actual value being exchanged. And when you do that, you can't help but not really care. And that's what people in any type of relationship, whether it's business or personal or whatever, when you really need something from someone, it's weird, it's awkward. Like people can feel it. Um, and so I think what's gotten me to, I guess, just become a lot more attractive in the eyes of other people has been like understanding where everybody's at and, more about the average people, uh, and particularly with these women. I think that really beautiful women get approached every single day. They get uninvited attention from tons of men since the age they were fucking 14 years old. And so uh, there's almost like this mystery of like, I think a lot of men build up this lust, especially with the internet and Instagram and pornography and like all this stuff on the internet. Basically, there's all this like desire built up, but when you actually talk to these women, you find out there's really not much there. And I really value like a true connection and true like meaningful, like somebody that wants to actually contribute, whether it's to society, to me, to whatever. I appreciate the like non tangible things a lot more. Only after you know being approached and approaching uh, lots of people and realizing that like behind the beauty, a lot of times there's a whole lot of ugly, and and all of a sudden somebody that you know I might have thought was like unapproachable or out of my league or whatever is like had this person all the way up here in my mind, and just after asking the right questions and really like digging deep into this person's personal life, they're now there. And to each their own. People can make their own decisions and do what they want with their life, but there's a certain set of standards that I have for myself and the people that I want around me, and just naturally, um, uh, me having the things that I value and the standards that I have, and asking questions and like speaking my mind accordingly, it naturally just makes people a lot more attracted and wanting to connect with me a lot more. So I'd say that's been the biggest mindset shift, and the most impactful thing is really realizing that, like I said before, we're the damn prize. We're the ones that gotta, uh, uh, in terms of at least like gender roles and that sort of thing. We're the ones that gotta work hard and make money and build society and do all these things. And with feminism and all these new ideas coming about, a lot more women are wanting to work a lot more and want equality and all this stuff, and all that's fine. But like biologically and spiritually, I think that men are way better at certain things and women are way better at certain things. But men, in terms of influence over the world and even the household, they're meant to lead. And so, in that respect, on average, we're going to have a lot more value. We are the prize. Just logically and philosophically, there's no reason to be putting these women on a pedestal. You know, um, there's just no reason for it, unless she can prove otherwise. But I just haven't been given any proof yet. Marvin said in this one video, he's like, "I'm the prize. Where's the prize?"
Now, let me know. I'm trying to figure out. Yeah, man, Dylan, man, absolutely amazing. I appreciate your time. For everyone that's been here, I hope that this has been a very insightful session for you all. I would like to live by the phrase, I am my brother's keeper, and together we shall rise. So I should continue to preach this message and to just use my voice to help deliver a lot of you from these brokies. And to all of you men, the best time to plant a tree seed is yesterday. The second best time is right now. So if you're ready to change the outcome of your dating life, you're ready to finally get around women that value you, that treat you as a prize, I want you to please DM me TFBA and apply for Trust Fund Baddies Academy. The link is also in the bio. Thank you so much for your time. I hope you all have a great day, and God bless.